Thank you for inviting me today. I'm quite excited to be sharing some ideas that will serve for inspiration for new projects. My name is Igor, and I'm a founder engineer at Ritual. You can look it up later, ritual.net, and these slides are available at the URL on the screen if you want to follow along. Ritual, we're bringing AI on-chain. Our goal is to empower any protocol application or smart contract to seamlessly integrate with AI models. We believe that this can unlock possibilities for decentralized ecosystems and also products that you may be building. So let's get into it. This is a quite short agenda. So I'll start outlining the current state of centralized AI and where it falls short of expectations. Yes, I think somebody, George might. Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll
that's okay. And then we'll talk, present some examples of technology that is backing decentralized AI projects. And then I'll share with you some prototypes or ideas that could lead into startup opportunities in the decentralized space. And then we'll wrap it up with Q&A. So the current state of AI, right, is dominated by big tech giants, Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, and they control the majority of data, compute power, and research. And so this concentration of power allows them to set the pace of AI innovation, but raises concerns about centralization and monopolistic control, similar to the concerns that we had with financial markets, and then Bitcoin later addressed. Centralized AI infrastructure relies heavily on storing massive data sets in centralized cloud environments, which enables for efficient processing, but increases the risk of data breaches and privacy violations. I received many notices of data breach, and these are obviously opportunities that we can, as entrepreneurs, pursue. Also, operating these centralized systems comes with significant costs, like hosting GPUs and also cloud services, and there's drives up expenses, and they lead to a lot of high energy consumption. Another challenge it has to do with transparency. Many AI models that you may use from cloud providers, they operate as black boxes. You hope that they're serving you the model that you pay for, but you're not sure. You don't know when they change versions or when they upgrade. So it is difficult to understand, the decision-making process. And if you try some of the newer models, even some of the intermediary thought process is also kept hidden from users, so as to protect the intellectual property right of the model. So businesses and governments that rely on decentralized providers experience vendor lock-in, right? Once you build a product on top of a platform, it is difficult to change platforms, and so this leads to increases in cost and complexity in switching providers. And so scaling these systems, it becomes difficult as data load grows because of the costs, and also you lead to performance issues, including high latency in real-time applications. There's also problems with privacy, and there's increased chances of unauthorized access. Also there's issues with ethical and regulatory issues. And so, when governments or policies are meant to introduce fairness, then what does fairness mean? And also, as is lack of transparency, users or entrepreneurs might worry about bias or societal impacts. So there's definitely a lot of problems, but hopefully you can see that there's also a lot of opportunity here. Now, a quick description of what technologies are powering current decentralized AI applications. And obviously, at the top, there's cryptography that plays a crucial role in privacy and security. There is active, projects that are using zero knowledge proofs and to wrap ML computation, right? And so this would allow a provider to prove that they're running the model that they're claiming, something that is, not available today with centralized AI providers. And then, you can also, take that concept and apply it to a VM, either, an EVM or any other blockchain, virtual machine. And the same thing applies with CKML, which is if you, do a search, these are technology, code that allows to prove the execution of an ML model. And there's also, if you want to learn more about this, things like homomorphic encryption, another cryptographic tool that allows computations to be performed directly on data, on encrypted data. This way, the AI provider is unable to look at your inputs. So this would allow the user to retain privacy. Also, relevant are multi-party computation protocols and PC protocols. These allow multiple participants to collaborate on AI computations without relieving their private inputs. So in this case, you are tasking not a single provider or a single node or a single entity to perform computation on your behalf, but you're asking a group of nodes and to run the computation. And so your secret is in a way shared amongst nodes. So unless there is, significant collusion amongst nodes, then you can be assured that not any one node can, peek into your data. And lastly, technology that is actually quite recently in the past few months becoming more important is trusted execution environments. These typically go by TEEs. This is a hardware-based solution, unlike cryptography, and it involves creating isolated hardware-based environments within, a CPU where computation can run securely. And SGX is the technology, created by Intel. That is a popular example. TDX is another one. And you can learn more about this. But all these technologies above are enabling, a lot of the products that you can build on decentralized AI. So let's talk about some opportunities in DeAi. I, will take these from a program that we are running in a company called Altar. And it's a program designed to provide comprehensive support for protocol developments, such as and we are, provide strategic fundraising, network opportunities, go-to-market strategies, mentorship, and all the other things that you can need for growing your product. You can learn more about it at altar.virtual.net, and that's all the advertising that I'll do. But all the following examples are part of were developed as part of this program. So the first one the first example of a product that we are calling Anima. It's a framework designed to simplify DeFi operations using large language models. So as you may know, it can be very difficult for newcomers to navigate DeFi operations, which can be quite scattered and cumbersome to deal with. Imagine, putting your, Bitcoin or Ethereum or another coin to work, or understanding liquidity pools. It can be quite daunting with the, large number of options available, and also how to, trade or, switch, chains. And so, let me see here. So this is an example here. Anima aims to bridge this gap by transforming natural language inputs into executable actions. So what I'm showing you here is an example of a chat box that you interact with, which is backed by a multi-agent system. So again, if you are familiar with AI, you're familiar with the recent development of agents. And you can imagine that this chat box is powered by several agents, perhaps a researcher agent that performs fundamental research on your tokens, a yield agent that can figure out best yield strategies to perform, and as well as lending and swap agents that can figure out how to best allocate your assets for lending and swap. You can see here that there's a prompt that is shared with the chatbot, and the chatbot can delegate that task to several agents and perform actions on your behalf. And for instance, in this case, there's a prompt that you're asking the agent to buy a trending meme coin with a 0.1 ETH every hour for the next 5 hours. And so the agent on the back end would be decoding your intent and then scheduling instructions or transactions to execute your intent. And so we believe that this interface can be used to initiate complex operations by expressing your interactions with just everyday language. Here we've also developed a Telegram bot in this example. You can see here. And via this Telegram bot, you can allow users to execute token swaps or DeFi strategies through a messaging interface. And so you can see how this interface can open up exciting opportunities for the user experience in Web3. And so I hope that this serves you as inspiration of kind of things that could be built also with big Bitcoin ecosystem as well. Yes.
Igor, so that's a Telegram chat, right? Where you do swap. So, and this is part of this technology is the centralized AI you guys are working on?
Yes, so these are actual prototypes that we've developed on top of the ritual technology.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And are these like, when these are in your lab, are these more like experimental, or do you already have teams like about to commercialize them?
Well, our team built these prototypes to only as prototypes with intent for teams such as yourselves or others to commercialize and productionize them.
Awesome. So you guys are open for teams to say, hey, that looks
Exactly.
awesome. I think we have the skills to do that. All right, awesome.
That's the whole point of our Alter program, and it's to partner kind of with us to take these to production. The company that I work for specializes in the core protocol, but there's definitely opportunity for teams outside of us to focus on the product development of the specific application. So
yeah, super cool. I have a lot of questions, but I'll save them for later. Maybe someone else will ask them also.
Yeah. I'll go real quick over these other ones. So this is another demo that my team worked on. We just called it Opus, and it's meant to blend meme coins with AI technology. And so obviously consumers often applications struggle with user engagement. And also with effective incentive structures. And so what we're trying to here achieve with Obus is to tap into the effectiveness of meme coins to drive user engagement. And we do this through by also adding AI automation. So to make this more concrete, I'll show you some screenshots again. And so at the heart of this application, there is an NFT generation mechanism. You can see here that the application asks for a prompt. And so the way that this works is that every 2 weeks, an AI model mints a new NFT based on the previous one. So think of this as a chain of NFTs. And so the AI agent mints a new NFT, given the previous one plus some, plus some delta. And so along this, we, in Ethereum land, we create an ERC20 token. You can imagine how you could also then, move this to Bitcoin as well, right? And then we also add some interesting tokenomics to this, where we add a custom bonding curve, so as to dynamically adjust the price based on the market demand. And so, this obviously has the effect that it creates, intense trading competitions, right? Where there is kind of a competition to hold the most tokens by the end of the next, 2-week reset. There's definitely a community-driven, approach to this. And you can see here that, this is the user interface, and then here's an example meme. And a bonding curve here, and so and then you can imagine that as these NFTs are traded, there is a transaction tax that is charged, which contributes to a treasury. And every time you have a winner, you gain membership to a DAO, and that leads to defining kind of the rules of the game. And again, what we've built is the integrations to our system that allows for these generative AI outputs to be made on chain. And the idea for the entrepreneurs is to just take this to production. I think I have a question.
I can wait if you're not done.
No, I mean,
Yep. Yeah, it's up to you. I mean,
Yeah.
Igor, how many more slides do you have?
I mean, I probably have a lot more, but I posted them. People should have the link. So if I don't get through all of them.
Yeah, but this is super cool. All right. So yeah, if it's a quick question, or maybe we save it to the end because we don't have that much time. I think this is just a half-hour session, right?
Yeah, another demo here is we're calling Relic. It's an ML-enabled automatic market making system. And so AMMs like Uniswap or Curve or others ones in the Bitcoin ecosystem often struggle with the fixed fee structure.